You're on.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Talking Chickens number 48, M&M Exhibition Poultry. I'm Mike Stair. The other guy over there is Matt Lehman. And down below there, that's Kim Munden, the ABA Assistant Secretary. And we're going to have a chat today on how she got started and what's her impressions and, the one or two things she does for the ABA. So we'll get on with that. It is the 4th of January as we're recording this, about 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and it's a heat wave here in Northwest Ohio. We're up to 29 degrees, so that's pretty spectacular. I got a note from Dustin this morning, and he said, "How are you?" And I said, "I'm good." I said, "I'm trying to figure out when I can go out." He said, "Well, he's on his way home from Wisconsin, and it was 3."
Oh,
It was 3, and he said, "There's not a cloud in the sky. It's beautiful." And I said, "From where?" He said, "From sitting in this damn van. It's really nice in here." So, yeah, so all our friends in Wisconsin and northern Michigan and Minnesota and Illinois, we feel for
oh, Buffalo,
you.
poor Rick Hare. Right? It looks like
Oh, yeah.
somebody dumped a truckload of snow right on top of him. I can't even see the pheasants in the pens when he.
Yeah.
I don't know
Yeah.
how you
It's
do it
pretty
up there,
bad.
Kim, because I think you're not
No.
far.
We have about a little over 2 foot of snow here too.
Oh,
So, yeah.
Uh,
I'm not
no.
going to complain.
No. Yeah, well, I'll complain, but I don't really mean it. I'm glad to be where I am. I could be a little farther south until it gets 90, and then I want to go a little farther north, but you can't outrun it, so you just got to live with it. All right, Maddie, you got any updates?
Just a few things with products from Rogier's. I've had, God, Lord knows, a lot of people are using the Taurus for mites, and I can tell you 2 or 3 of them that had a horrible problem with crest mites, especially in Cornish and crested breeds tend to be worse for them. That they said that they did the new dosage, which is 4 ounces per gallon or 4 teaspoons per gallon, 1 teaspoon per quart, and that seems to be the miracle mix on it, and it's worked really good. So that's working good. Nutri-Wrench has saved the day a couple times for some people, so you can get all that from them. And I think I put mine on Breeder's Magic last week, so I think that's it. Hatching time. I think I'm officially a tech support person, so
You are.
I have sold several of the smaller incubators since Kelly Sheets put up her little video. And if you're looking for an inexpensive incubator, it's about the same price as a styrofoam one, and they've had really good luck. I've had 3 people call and buy them just for hatchers. They didn't want a great big hatcher, and I thought, well, I think it holds 60 chicken eggs. So I said, if you're only hatching small batches once a week, like most of us do, it's great for that. And I think you just need to figure the humidity out, and I believe Kelly did on her video. So
Yeah.
that was good. I think the other thing is Eagle's Nest. We had Dustin on last week, and I know he's going strong, and the commercial birds are coming through, and I help him with some of the questions and answers that I can answer on Facebook. And Lord, lots of chicks going out, so all we need them is to lay and be fertile.
Yep. That's the secret, I guess.
Yep.
Lay and be fertile. We haven't. I haven't started. I got 2 dozen eggs saved up. It's been so damn cold, and who knows how it'll be. Weather's supposed to break. I think tomorrow is supposed to be above freezing, and it looks like for a week or so at least. And so I can. I got to do some test hatches because I've sold quite a few eggs, but I got to do some. Make sure they're fertile first, and I got to start AI in the blacks and the buff or the whites this week. I was going to do it today, but that's not going to happen. So we'll just say we'll do that tomorrow.
That's retire.
And yeah, the big black coachings they're starting to crank. We're about 50% on them laying now, and I've got everybody where they're going to be. So when the weather breaks for them, we'll get those set. Excuse me, and we'll set a couple 3 weeks worth of those, and hopefully, if they're fertile, that'll be enough for us, and we'll I'll start filling egg orders. But then again, you never know what the weather's going to be like, and hey, if it's going to be colder than well, digger's belt buckle. You're going to wait because there's no sense sending good eggs and wasting your money and and they because I have no control. All I can do is pack them. Yeah, you can put those little heat packs in them, but with the postal service and the way things go and where they set and cold trucks and everything else, that yeah. So, but I'll let everybody know that that is you'll get eggs in order. And I'll see. I mean, there's still a few. If you want to order eggs, go ahead. Uh, just know that you're going to be back probably. We're probably into March now, I would think. But you never know here with February because sometimes that is the worst month. And those 28 days take at least 4 months to go.
True, yeah.
It used to be that way, but that's the way it is now. So I'm
The
waiting
last
for that
several years,
warming shit.
the last several years, February and March were our worst months, but
Yes, they were terrible.
we've already had more snow here this year than we have had the last 4 years put together. So I think
Yeah.
we've had 18 inches of snow, which is a lot this early, and we had it in November. So I'm praying that it takes it easy on us on the back end. So
Yeah, I'm hoping so. I got looking. I kind of look at the long range weather, which doesn't really make any damn difference because they can't tell what happens in 48 hours. But I looked through that, and I guess there's a big ridge over top of Alaska's been absolutely brutal, Fairbanks, and that ridge is still sitting there. And it's all according when it busts up, whether it swings, which way it swings, and how the jet stream is, or we might get colder than shit again, or we might not. But it's not just from here. I like to look at where they're going
yeah,
and see what it's going to be there. I mean, eggs are an iffy thing. Matt's put out some stuff on egg shipping, and I've had very good luck shipping eggs. But the hatching part, that's always a crapshoot. So, but we'll get you going and see what we can do. But I'm not going to rush. It doesn't do you any good to rush things around. So we are going a couple things. We will be in North Carolina next weekend. We're going to go down and see Jimmy Sorrells and everybody down there, and we're going to judge for them. And then I believe the only other thing we have in February, judging wise, is we'll be in Alabama. I like saying Alabama. Don't know what happened to your roll tide. You got damn rolled by the Big Ten. I guess that's what happened. But hey, it happens to the best of us. We're Ohio State fans.
yeah, yeah. We're not talking too much, that's for sure.
No, we're not talking too much. But all the friends in Indiana that post all that stuff and give a shit, enjoy your moment in the sun, uh, especially when you've never been there before. So eat it up, man. Eat it up. All right, with all that stuff out of the way, uh, welcome, Kim. How are you today?
I'm doing well. Another year older, 2 days ago.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Happy birthday. I think
Thanks.
all of us here within the past month, all three of us,
Yeah,
we've got another year younger. We reverse now, Kim. We go
yeah.
Oh,
backwards.
that's the trick. Sorry. My
That's the
mistake.
trick.
Going backwards.
Yeah,
Not
well,
enough.
that's all right. You're still young.
Yeah.
So tell us how you got started. How did you get into this position that you find yourself in today, Kim?
Well, it's unlike a lot of people, it wasn't me and my family that started into poultry. It was actually my son. He was 4 years old asking for a chicken, and I'm like, okay, I'm an animal lover, but I'm like, where did this chicken thing come from? And he was very persistent in asking for a chicken. So when he was 7 years old, my sister-in-law was buying some laying hens. I said, can I just buy one of those chickens from you? And we lived in town, and I checked through all of the ordinances and stuff, and they said, as long as you have a rooster, you should be okay. So we had one laying, I don't know, it was black. I don't know what kind it was at that point because that's wasn't my thing. And we raised it in the house in a bird cage for a while. It imprinted with Steven, and he just loved this thing. He had a leash. He would walk it. I mean, yeah, this was this was my crazy chicken kid. So we moved then, actually the following year, into the country, and he got involved in 4-H, and we met some folks, and his very first chickens, that weren't mine, were silver penciled Plymouth Rock Bantams.
Oh
And
boy.
yeah, Miss Pepper was his very first show chicken. So yeah, they had names from, he had his chickens that had names, but we also our very first show, he was 9 years old, first year in 4-H. Everybody said, you need to go to the Ohio National, and that's where we went. It's one of those moments as a mom that you remember when my son walked through the doors. We were just spectators. He walked through the doors, stopped dead in his tracks, and said, wow. And that was it. He bought some more. He bought some light brown Leghorn Bantams from Curtis Oaks, which Curtis Oaks is my son, his mentor, and he lives 5 miles from me, from us as well. So he got into that, and taught us and got us involved also into the fairs. But so what was in 2000, the year 2000, actually, I became a 4-H leader. I've been a 4-H leader for 25 years. I'm on my 26th year. I did kind of digress to a resource leader, but this year, because of the avian influenza, um, in Pennsylvania, we had no birds at our fair for 3 years. And this past, like I can say last year now, because we're in the new year, was our first year with birds back. Our 4-H program has really taken a hit. Our 4-H poultry program. So a friend of mine and I have started a new poultry only club in Crawford County, and I am teaching clover buds now. This is a whole new area for me. So wish me luck with the little ones. I've got 3 of them, but our club has already got 9 kids in it. So hopefully we can build back the program. But so as just going through, Stephen actually was very much passionate about the poultry, and went on to get a poultry science degree from NC State. Uh, and so he doesn't work in the industry, by the way. Um, he thought he would, but he actually wanted to be a veterinarian, an avian veterinarian. The money scared him away for the vet school. And he says, I already owe this much money. I can't owe another 250,000, Mom. So he just went into the industry. But life has its challenges. I got laid off. He stayed here. Anyway, long story short, he met a girl. He's a machinist now, but he still loves poultry. So we went through, let's see, we had broad-breasted bronze turkeys too, when he first started. But he really liked the Plymouth Rocks. He had buff, partridge, Colombian. My first birds were standard and Bantam Buckeyes. Just really like the colors. I think my artist in me gravitates to more pretty colors. And I had birch and modern games as well. Really liked raising those. I'm just not a real fan of dubbing. So, but what fun birds those were. Then we always said we weren't going to be waterfowl people, never going to own ducks. Well, you're laughing at me now.
Yeah,
Um,
because you got them.
I do. I'm a waterfowl person now. I love my waterfowl. 2002, we got our first call duck, a pastel call duck from Art Lundgren, very good friend of mine, Art, who has been a very good mentor for me as far as the call ducks and waterfowl in general, as well as Curtis and Daryl Shara. Um, so we got the pastel call ducks, and then that went into blue fawn and grays, and then we were making pastels. The whole story there. But then I found Egyptian geese. Again, the colors, I think it's the colors that really
Yep,
attract
they're a
me.
beautiful bird.
Very beautiful. They're not for the faint of heart to raise.
No,
Um,
no,
I
no.
get a lot of comments like, "Yeah, you raised those devil birds." Dinosaurs. Yeah, but I really like them. So I actually have a master breeder in with the APA in the Egyptian geese. So I've been raising those for a little around 23 years, I think it is. But I'm actually slowly getting out of those. I think as I get younger, as you said, Mike, my back surgery and knee surgeries aren't really liking how strong they are. Very strong,
Yes.
and you have to hang on for dear life. And I'm just, maybe tired of hanging on for dear life to those birds
Yeah.
and getting a little beat up.
Yeah.
But I still have five of them. I probably always will have some Egyptian geese, but I'm not raising very many. So we're over the years, we've raised Saxony, Silver Appleyard, Ruins. Hmm, what else did we get into? I've had a couple different varieties of turkeys, but this year I'm starting off in a new adventure with. This is my first year breeding Cayuga ducks. I still have some call ducks, not as many as I used to have. And I also got the partridge Chanticleer from Matt, which I'm really looking forward to delving into because Stephen had the partridge rock. So and again, it's a pretty color.
Yep. Pretty.
Uh, and
Pretty.
and I got black Orpingtons, bantams. So those are my new learning for this year, and a little less hard on my body um, from the Egyptian geese. But so my actually one of my dream birds to own is Steinbacher geese. Um, Eventually, I'm going to have some Steinbacher geese.
I like those too. I think they're one of the prettiest geese there are. That that blue color and those eyes. Uh, they're very very pretty. I noticed. If you get Steinbachers and keep your Egyptians and get into Muscovy ducks, they would beat you to death. You'd have enough stuff that actually you may fly away with them, trying to hold on to all that stuff, dragging them around, and a
No,
couple turkeys.
and that's why I got out of turkeys too. It's
Yeah.
just was just and taking them to shows, keeping their tails nice,
Yep.
was just such a challenge, and it just got hard. So
Yep.
went to the Bantam ducks, and I still have my geese though, but yeah, over the last couple of years, I've realized just how hard it is to handle those geese sometimes. They don't attack me, although people think they attack you. The only time they attack you is when they have goslings. They are very good parents, and it
Yep.
hurts. Just saying, they grab a hold and don't let go. So, um, I got a little butterfly net. I used to scoop because I let them hatch their own. Scoop the goslings up with it. They got smart on the butterfly net and went towards the other end instead of the end that was catching the goslings. So I still got kind of beat up, but I like to take them from them because they seem to escape and then something gets them. So I just raise them
Right.
after they're hatched. So my son actually had modeled Houdans for a while, standard modeled Houdans, which was a real challenge as well. But so as far as other things that I've this path has led me into, I was the National Call Breeders of America president for 8 years, 7 or 8 years. 2008. I actually got kind of hoodwinked into that one. I don't know how I do this. People who volunteer or say yes a lot really get sucked into those
They
things.
get a lot of work, don't they?
Yeah, I blame Art actually because in it was that big show in Connorsville. What was that big show called? Oh my gosh, my memory.
Oh, and Indiana
Crossroads.
or Crossroads.
Crossroads. Yes, yes, yeah. We had a national meet out there, call duck. I had just gotten into call ducks, and Art says, "Oh yeah, Kim can run for vice president." I'm like, "Oh yeah, oh how hard could vice president be?" All right, sure. Yeah, and but unfortunately, that was the year before Claude McAllister died, and he was the president. And all of a sudden, I found myself as president of the Call Club, and it was a learning experience. I'll just put it that way. Made a lot of mistakes, just being new to the whole thing, but I did enjoy it for a while, and then I needed to step away from that. I started doing working with uh, hmm, Gus Vinhaj on the standard drawings in 2004. And actually, Curtis and Daryl were on the standard committee at that time. They were waterfowl. Um,
Advisors,
on
yep.
yeah, that's the word. And they recommended me to the committee, and so that's how I got into drawing that in 2004. And then that started into, I think, 2009. I started helping Karen with the yearbook, and um, Karen and I just really hit it off well. We work so well as a team. We're really good friends, Kevin and Karen and I. It's kind of weird, it's 3Ks, and we're not going to go into that whole thing, but it's Karen, Kevin, and Kim. And we just really work so well together. So that blossomed into this past last year, um, being added on as an assistant secretary to Karen, and I do all the show sanctioning as well. Handle all of that information, and as those sanctions come in, I send out emails with the show reports, and receive the show reports, and it's a lot of work behind the scenes that I think a lot of people don't realize just how much. It's just like running a show. Well, I do that too.
Yeah,
Tri-State
you
Poultry
do.
Association. I'm the show secretary for that. So it's which kind of was nice actually, doing that, being a show secretary before getting into handling the show reports for the ABA, helped me be able to. I mean, I knew them, so it was easy, and I know the varieties, the breeds, the classes, all that stuff. So that just really helped um, me take on that position as show sanction, and doing the show reports. So um, yeah, that just all happened this past year. So it's been a kind of coming in the middle of the year, working through some of the things that got missed with the transition and stuff. But it's we've got a really good system now, and I think as we move forward, it's just going to get smoother, much smoother. Um, if I can take a few minutes to mention, like, folks that are out there that are show secretaries, or you handle clubs that host shows. We really in the ABA want to get your shows on our website sooner than we have been. That's kind of a goal of mine, because what was happening, as we get show sanctions fees paid, then we would go put that on the website. But a lot of times the shows are sending those in either the week before or after the show has happened. So it's not getting on the website ahead of time. We want to promote your show for our members. And so it helps you,
Right.
it helps our members. And we want, so I'm encouraging, it's kind of a plea, I guess. So anybody who hosts a show, send your show information, even if you don't pay the show
Yep.
sanction fee ahead of time. Send me your information. We can get that on our website. Valerie Miller with Poultry Show Central. Um, Anytime anybody wants to sanction with us, I send it to her because she has a separate tab on her website that lists ABA sanctioned shows as well. So we're really trying to promote those shows, get that out for our ABA members so they know which shows are sanctioned, and can earn points, and do all that fun stuff. So that's my little plea. The best place to do it is to email it. Well, you can email it to Karen Abano Club at gmail.com, but we have a specific email address for our show sanctions. It's ABA Poultry Shows at gmail.com. And it's poultry shows at gmail.com. So, okay, that's my little shameless plug
Yeah,
for.
good deal because I mentioned this when we first went to Wild Apricot. There in the members only section, there's an area for that where all of them go into, and it gets a whole bunch of traffic from the members that are in the portal that use that because you can go and plan your spring or fall show schedule from that sanction list. So that's definitely a good point to get them to get the information to you, whether they're paying their sanction or not. At least let us know you're having a show. And it's kind of nice to go look through there because I do that myself. I got this one, or if I'm trying to, plan things and I don't, because some of them are on the same date. So it's good to see that, and we're all over the country. So a lot
Yeah.
of them have done that, but I'd like to see them all do that as well.
Yeah. I'm hoping that I can get to the point where I can build an email list of the shows that oh, that's the other thing I wanted to mention too. Yes, we do the ABA. To sanction a show, your club needs to be a member of the ABA. And that's $35. And then any shows you hold, if you have a single show, that's an additional $25 show sanction fee. If you have a double show, that's an additional $50, $25 per show. So I want to build a list that I can send out emails to those clubs and get you guys more involved. And we just
With that, I want to
yeah.
clarify too, you have to have a unique email address for the show. So you
Mhm.
can't use the same email address you use for your membership. So I know we have a few of them I was seeing on the no email list that we need to have those clubs either get another Gmail address or something specifically for that show. That way we can tie it back to your membership, and then you'll get 5 or 6 notices when your dues are due and it's time to re-up. And if we don't have that, then it kind of sometimes gets lost because we don't do a whole lot of snail mail notices anymore because it's just not practical.
I do, and I've been kind of as some of those have been coming in, and I get orders. Kevin and Karen forward the orders to me when they come in. If I see the email, the conflict, I'm trying to work through some of those as well, Matt. But yeah, so that's kind of my goal is to get those shows a little more involved in promoting and not promoting us promoting your shows so that our members can promote your show or go to your
Yep.
show, support your show.
Another
That's
thing
the
I'll
goal.
mention while we're on that is also if you're running a show and you want to be ABA sanctioned, make sure that you've got the right mix of judges because we got a lot of judges that aren't ABA sanctioned. Some of them aren't members. All those things will affect your show report when you're done. So it's better to find that out before you start than after the fact that we get the report and hey, you didn't have enough ABA judges to qualify, or you've got one that's not a member, or whatever. You need to make sure when you hire your judges that number one, they're ABA members if they're not ABA judges, so that we can clarify that up, and then you have the right amount of, and it's in the bylaws, the right amount of ABA judges to satisfy the sanction requirements.
Yes. Yeah. Thanks for reminding that. That's a
Yeah,
very
I try to say that a lot, and I also do it in my newsletters and things, just because what happens anymore is it seems like we get so many new show secretaries, and I did the youth show reports for a long time for Karen, so I know how it is. And you get new secretaries, they don't know the rules and regulations, and so it's kind of like a continual training mode that we're in. But yeah, you have to pay attention to that if you want to be sanctioned.
Yeah, and anybody who is out there that's new at this, please reach out. Be glad to walk you through, answer any questions, um, to help it run as smooth as possible for you. As
I'm
I've been doing.
curious. So you're going to get the very first one. So we had the fellow on that wrote the new program. Gosh, his name slips me now. But that automatically files the APA-ABA show sanction report. So the Congress will be the first one you will get. And I'm
Okay.
curious to see how that works because I had clarified some things with him on starred wins, and that's kind of why we had that discussion. But he's supposed to flag all that out for you. The trios are there, the displays are there. So he's really put a lot of effort, and because he is a show secretary, he was knows what you need on that report. And then we clarified the I guess it was the half stars that he wasn't familiar with. Plus, he also added in our 3 new varieties and breeds that we added at Columbus. So
great.
he's got the pull down menus in the program of everything that's recognized. So that kind of helps too. And it actually flags the clerk as they're going along. Hey, this bird is non-standard. You can't pick it for, it won't let them pick it for best of breed. So it's going to fix a lot of, I hope that if enough people use it, it's going to fix a lot of those show report problems that take you guys so much time to cipher through. So they'll be able to correct it right at the show before the mistake happens. So I think that's a neat feature.
Yeah,
And I think
that'll be
earlier. You got to use it when you entered for the Congress.
I did, and it was so easy. It was very easy. So this will be actually pretty cool, and using it to enter being at the show and then actually getting the show report then. So
yeah, Ethan Pullen is his name.
Yeah, Ethan Pullen. The neat thing, and I was telling you earlier too, is that even if we're not at the show, and I'm going to do it because we'll be in North Carolina, but I'm going to take time to go to the website and log in because I can see because they're going to use phones and tablets to do their clerking, which immediately puts the results into the program and online. So you'll be able to see who won what at the Congress. All you got to do is go to Ethan's website and register for the program, and you can look back on our last podcast with him. We have the links there, but Mike and I both signed up just to give it a look. And as a user end of it, the neat thing is once you enter in there, I don't care how many shows you enter, it saves all your information, saves your MPIP paperwork, and forwards it on to that next show. But you can go on any show that's been in the system, and we're hoping there's several down the road. You can go look up winnings. You can go look up how this guy did there or whatever this person did there. So I think that feature is going to be like golden. It reminds me of the old poultry presses where we had the winnings in the back. Well, we'll have that on his program, and it'll perpetually keep that, as the years go out. So I'm a data guy. That was my job for lots of years. So I like to see data and try not to use my memory because that tends to not be as good. But it's going to be a neat, as I get younger, it's going to be a neat feature. And like I said, when we had him on, everything that I asked for in the program, he already did. He answered every question, and then some other features that I didn't even imagine we could get. So if you have video capabilities at your show, it'll throw them up on a screen. And as the wins come in, you can sit there and look at it, or you could go out to lunch and get on your phone and see how you did, or if your class is coming up, or it's kind of just kind of a neat built-in features that we needed to have somebody write something like that was a chicken person. And he's also added pigeons in, so that's a lot of the pigeon people have interest in it as well.
Oh, nice. Yeah, that will be very fun to see. A very nice progress in show.
It's over and above the old cell access crap that we've had to deal with, and some of the online programs are just clunky. So I'm curious to get the reports back. Several shows are looking at the Congress to see how it does. And believe me, if you can impress Cheryl Barnaba as one of the oldest show secretaries in the country, one of the big, if she's ranting and raving about it, you better pay attention because it's a good one.
Yeah. So that'll be fun to see. I don't know. Maybe it's kind of interesting. If it does go well, maybe I'll try it for a tri-state.
I know Steve from Connecticut, our district director. I never can say his last name. Stana. Yeah, you're better at that than I am. I always call him Steve S. or Steve from Connecticut, but Steve's going to clerk, so he's going to actually get to use the tablet or phone. He's going to go clerk for a while, and then he's coming to help you. So that's another thing we get to announce because Karen and Kevin they're having some health issues and can't make it to the Congress. So Kim gets to man the table up there, which is always a good show for us just because of the sheer amount of people, and they don't get to see us, too much other than I think Bath. She's always at Bath too, but it's always busy up there. And I know you guys were horribly busy at Columbus. I
Oh,
don't know if Mike and I would be help or not. We're more in the way, but you and Karen and Kevin and Steve. Steve's really good at the table too. So we sold a lot of stuff. I see ABA logo wear at every show I go, and I know that you guys sold it at Columbus though.
it was crazy. We're always busy at Columbus. But this past year it was we just never stopped. And it was just go. And Friday, when we're not usually officially open, we were so busy even Friday. And it's really nice to see the support of our members with our club, because that's why we do what we do, is for our members. That's really the bottom line with the ABA. Really want to see our members succeed, and that's what we're here for, to help you.
This morning we were over 2,400. So, and I've been in it way too long. I started in 72, and I think I've been an ABA member for probably most of those years. And
I think so, because I just looked 50 years. It was 50 years last year. 1975, I got my first membership.
As far as total amount of members, I think this is the most there's ever been. So that's a good sign. Yeah. Lots of new people. That's a good thing too. And we just, we try to educate those as they come across. I know I do the wild apricot approval, so I answer a whole bunch of questions before they ever have to go to YouTube to try to deflect some of that work off of you guys, because we're not like, none of us are sitting by the computer waiting on your question. It's if I can defer some of that before it gets to you, that's great. And Kim's gotten really good at using a wild apricot. It's a little tricky at first, but
a couple mistakes.
It does save us a whole bunch of headaches. And if you have trouble renewing it, it's going to let you know several times when your dues are up, and that's why we need that valid email address too as well. So if your email changes, let us know. We can get that fixed fairly simply, and it just amazes me the amount of new people coming in. And I get to see them, first shot when I approve them. I can see whether they have been a member before, if they're brand new, and every day there's brand new people coming in. So, awesome. And it seems funny, before the shows start, like with the Congress, I'm getting a lot from the Northeast new members. So they're signing up before they get there. And I'm sorry. I'm sorry and glad I can't be there. I'm sorry that I can't be there to see it. I'm glad I don't have to drive there. So that's we'll be going south, and we're praying for good weather going south, because we went through those mountains in West Virginia with our hair standing on end a few times too. But that coming back from the Congress last year was brutal.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it was pretty rough last year. Yeah, I drive straight across really Pennsylvania. For those who don't know, I live in okay, I gotta get my directions straight. Northwest Pennsylvania, up near the Snowbelt, Lake Erie stuff. And I drive straight across the whole way. So, if there's going to be
you go over on 80.
Yeah.
Okay. That's how we come back. We were good till we got off of 80. And from there on back to Emily's house down in the heart of Pennsylvania. It took us 3 hours to go an hour normally. So
yeah, last year I was lucky last year, because after the show we went back to Karen and Kevin's house, and I stayed. I didn't drive through it, and I left the next day, so I didn't have to drive through it last year. But this year I'll be driving through if we get something.
Yeah, so. Mike's got some tales too. Him and Bill Patterson and Dustin Drake come back the same time we did. We got out there fairly early Sunday morning because they let us go, but once it started coming, it was typical winter, and it didn't let up till we got done. So
yeah, it was a bitch.
Yes.
Well, let's talk. So one of your biggest projects when you come on, and we throw it right at you, was the standard. So Kim happened to join us right at the time we were doing the standard revision, which was great because
thankfully.
Mike and I worked on that. And then Paul Monteith, Gary Rossman, and John Beamer, Karen and Kevin, we all were on that pretty hard for several months. And I don't think I ever was, and I've been on those for quite a few years now, like the last 4 or 5 revisions. But I was never prouder of one that come out more than that one. And then the comments. So that's always the litmus test. The comments from the people buying is, oh my God, this is so easy to read and so easy to follow. Well, that's all that lady sitting down there, because all those pictures match up. She spent the time to do that. She proofed it. We threw some more stuff at them this year that they didn't have before. We added in all the old inactive breeds and color varieties and standards. So that took some time to add back in there. And then that's not the worst part. I told her when she started, the worst part's when you add something in, you gotta the index. You gotta repaginate the index so that everything matches up. So did a great job. That was all. I know Paul's got a list of some things we missed, but not very many compared to.
There wasn't.
And the pictures look gorgeous. The mini standard was so well received because it was kind of a mistake that they added those pictures in it, because when we quoted it, we usually left them out because it kept the cost down, but they actually put the pictures in, and we said, well, hell, we're just going to go with it. And I think that's been a godsend, because the minis are like flying off the shelf. So it's a little less expensive.
I think the minis are really great too for our youth. Because parents, as a parent, you've got all kind of expenses with kids, and so that's a great way to give your kiddos that good information for a reasonable price that they can reference and fits in your pocket of your aprons, and But yeah, I was really pleased.
A ton of shows given those as junior awards. So I know, I think even Perry, Georgia now, they're getting some sponsors lined up to give those away to their junior winners down there. And I know California did theirs when we sent some out that way, and Columbus give them all a mini for the showmanship winners. So it's a great, that's something they'll appreciate. And the good thing is, if they've already got one, they can give it to the next kid or somebody else if they happen to win one. So that's went over great. And thank you for all that work, and Paul and everybody. It was a team effort, but we got it done.
It was big. It was big. And I took it on as actually when it came out, it actually brought tears to my eyes because it looked so good. I've been a graphic artist. I was in printing for years. And I'm gonna say how many because that will definitely age me. But so when that was part of being a graphic artist is in print, was taking that concept and seeing that finished printed product. Was always very rewarding for me, and I put my heart and soul into this standard for that, and for our hobby, and for our youth, and for our just for our future. And so to anybody in the graphic arts industry knows, when you're using PDFs or Publisher and programs that aren't quite up to par with keeping up with such an extensive publication like our standard. I took the time to make sure we have a solid file in a program that's going to be much easier in the future to make updates to. So,
exactly.
And that was my contribution.
At the same time we threw that on you, we also had the yearbook going out, and we got that.
We were a little late on that one. Just a smidge.
But Karen got her other yearbook like last week, so I guess we weren't as late as others. But that product is also very well received, and I did a lot of desktop publishing in my day too, so I always tell Mike, I said, when I see one that's not done very well, I say it's improperly paginated.
That's the word. That's the word I learned for the year. All my life, I have never heard the word paginated. All through college and everything, I never heard that word, and he said it, and I said, "What?"
Even with a little project like a newsletter years ago, if it wasn't paginated right, it's all messed up. So ours is properly paginated. That's what I tell everyone. It's easy to read. It's easy to find stuff in the yearbook the same way. If I want to go reference something in the yearbook, thank God for that index, that it saves so much time. And
I'd like to say some things about our coming. We're actually getting ready. Sorry, to send out our tear sheets from 2025 for those that want to advertise in 2026. We're trying to get a head start on it this year, so we can get it out earlier. Our goal is to get it out a little earlier this year than we normally do. I think normally it comes out in August. It came out in September this year or last year. Oh gosh, I'm still having trouble with the transition from last year this year thing. Right.
It'll take a while.
Yeah, it's so but we did have to increase our prices just a little bit on advertising, 10% across the board. So it's not a lot, but we need to help cover that cost of producing the yearbook. Members really consider it a benefit. It's added to poultry exhibitor or the poultry enthusiasts libraries. It's a reference. We're looking possibly to add some different sections in this year, change it up a little bit, all for the benefit of our members. Information, a resource that you can go to say, hey, how do I do this? And it's going to list that. That's our goal. It may, whether we get everything covered this year, may not happen, but that's our goal, to get that as even a better resource for our members. So that's if you can look for that. Again, if all of our ads, if you need an ad design, there's no extra cost for that. It's just the cost for the ad. I'm the one that does it, so
I know.
I always have said it for years, so I've got them from 1917. Then we had a couple years off from 1920 on. We've put one out, so I have all those and plenty other ones. I got a few extras, doubles, but that's a timestamp of the hobby for that year. So if you were in the hobby, you don't have an ad in there, nobody knows you existed. So I always reference that. It's a great place to sell birds. It's a great place for me to reference people that want something I'm not familiar with. Go look in the yearbook. You also have the who's and bantams in there, so you can see if they're winning, how they're doing, whatever. And that's the place to be. So if every member would take out an ad, it helps defer that cost. Postage is crazy. Printing costs have went up, and to keep doing a physical hard yearbook is getting expensive. Thus the increase a little bit this year, but the more people that support it, the easier that is. And another feature we added last year that we've never done before is we actually put the PDF up on the members only site. So you can you get a little more bang for your buck, because you also have the physical yearbook that goes out to the 2,400 members. And then you have the PDF that's available to everybody that wants to go look, because we've had to kind of shift the foreign postages so bad that we've shifted them to the PDF versions. But I was really amazed that everybody loved that PDF. Plus it was out quicker than the printed version, because we send it to the printer and they mail them. So sometimes there's a lag there, but I actually use that PDF quite a bit. So when I go, somebody's online and they're referencing something, I'll just go look it up instead of getting the yearbook, and it's nice.
Yeah, and that's just the thing. If you're not where your physical yearbook is, you have that digital copy to reference pretty quick on the website. Yeah, so we have you can actually buy your ad on our website through the online store. So it's very easy to just go to the website, go to the online store. There's all of the options are there. Color, black and white ads. There's something for everybody's budget. So, and every ad helps. So don't feel like if you can only take a little small ad out, that it's not worth it. It is definitely worth it for us.
It's the same thing on there. If you're a judge, especially for our new judges, that judge's ad is very reasonable. I recommend you put that, because there's a lot of people that they know, but they don't know, and they will use the ABA yearbook to find judges, especially if you're in the area that they're looking for. They don't know all the judges. Like you said, a lot of the show secretaries are new. A lot of show secretaries, they're secretaries, but they're not big time exhibitors. They don't go all over and see everybody. So if they've got that where, hey, there's a judge right there, he only lives a state over. I think that helps a lot too. And if you're a judge, why not? That's cheap advertising.
Yep. I recommend, we've got several that are in the apprentice program. Even apprentice judges can put ads in there. So a lot of
Yes, they
times
can.
judges get jobs at fairs and junior shows and things like that. So it doesn't hurt you if you're in the program to stick an ad in there to let them know that you're working towards your judging license and you're available to do those fairs and junior shows and things like that. So
Yep, exactly. Exactly.
And then
Oh,
again,
go ahead.
it's my reach out to the clubs to uh,
Yes.
we have a club page that the top quarter portion is free for the club, and then the little squares are all sold individually. Let me look here. I have a list because I knew I wouldn't remember the prices off the top of my head. But a black and white full page, you have, if you get 6 members to pay $22 a square, you get your club ad in the page. Your people are only paying $22 in per little square from your club, and you've got a page you're promoting your club. If you host a show, you can promote your show on there as well. Tri-State Poultry Association has done it the last 2 or 3 years. So it gets your name again out there as a club. So again, that's my push again for getting clubs more
we have breed clubs. We have
involved.
several breed clubs that do it, but
Clubs.
if your breed club's not doing it, it's a good way to get some, inexpensive advertising for your
Yep.
breed clubs and your members.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. So your book is on the horizon for me. So
As soon as we get done with one and we're right into the next one.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
write articles. So I just did my newsletter bit, and Doug Hummel wrote a good article on culling buttercups that I sent in for the
Nice.
newsletter. There are just not many people writing anymore. So if you feel that the need and the ambition to write an article, we don't care what stage of the hobby you're in, but we'll use almost every article we get if we think it's relevant and something other people would like to see. That's something over the last 20 years has kind of fell off, is the new articles. Everybody wants other kinds of media, but still just sitting down and writing something sometimes is the kind of the best way to pass on. That's how we got all of our information. And in those 115 years of yearbooks, that's a lot of stuff in there that has been timeless. So a lot of knowledge has been lost because we didn't do that. So that's my push to get more articles written and in there. And Lord knows I try to write some, and they're probably sick of mine, but we get some new people to get their perspective, I guess, is the
Yeah.
idea.
Different breeds, different topics. Yeah. And, it doesn't have to be a long article either. It can be a couple paragraphs if you've got just some, you know,
Yep.
just share
I read hatching,
puppies. Yeah.
breed specific, whatever. In general, I know Jan Brett last year found some plant that somebody told her, and we stuck that in
Mhm.
to use for chicken feed supplements and things like that. Anything will work. It's just anything that would be of interest. If you've got a homemade feeder you design and you think it works good, send us an
Perfect.
article.
Yep.
Stick it in there.
Yeah.
The
I
other thing
have this.
I wanted to talk about, I think, was your prints. So I know I've got
Oh,
several of the call duck prints and chicken prints you've made over the years, and they're draft horses that you did. So Kim's a great artist and has done a lot of work for the ABA and APA, getting her artwork in there to kind of update. So we're stuck for lots of years with the old shillings, and not many people did new things. And it was, and as well as I do, because I think I was on that committee, pleasing people when you're drawing a picture of their birds. So she's done a great job of that, and hopefully we see more of that coming down the road. Get more time.
yeah. I'm hoping. I've already had somebody reach out and ask about sponsoring another drawing for the standard. So I'm not really. I'm not. I'm not quite sure where we left off with that at our meeting at Ohio, but yeah, I'm definitely game for doing more. Just so folks know, I actually do commission work too. I have 2 commission works. I'm right now. One is not a bantam, but it's waterfowl, of course. But when I do drawings for the standard, I work very closely with the standard committee because we want to make sure that that drawing represents that breed and that variety as close as possible to the written description.
Yep.
So
Great.
yeah, I just wanted to throw that out there. When I do my commission pieces, they can have a little, if you have a bird that you really love and it doesn't meet the standard description, I can draw it. So I work from photos because that's I don't sit down and draw straight through and finish a piece. So uh, that's just how I've been. I've got to be right in the right frame of mind,
Yeah,
you know.
I think what we
If
left
it's not
at
going well,
the,
I got to get up and walk away, or I'm going to screw it up. So
I think we were afraid to open up the solicitation of breeds to sponsor just for the fear you're going to get overwhelmed, because I know that's exactly what's going to happen. And I don't think it's fair to offer like one breed to somebody and not open it up to everybody. So I think that's what we're still working through there.
yeah, it
I don't
is.
want you to have 500 pictures of the draw in this time frame. So
Well, it won't. There is only so much that I can
yeah,
do.
there's only so many you can do.
Time, but I mean, it's something that if folks are really interested in, and so it doesn't get in the next edition of our standard, we can continue working towards that. And so it'll be in two editions, whatever, we just whatever we can add. I think if people like it, I'm humbled, by the way. I am not the kind of artist that I don't really put myself out there. It's just not who I am. It's not my personality. I'm humbled when people come up to me. I was very humbled at the Ohio National when a call duck, a very good call duck breeder, came up, and they got so excited when they realized I was the artist. And like I was like all red and embarrassed. Kevin's going, "Oh yeah, we're gonna have signings. We're gonna do all this." I'm like, "Kevin, stop it!" Just like,
He's a
"Yes,
promoter.
Yeah.
yes,
Yeah.
he is." But I am, and I appreciate all of the comments that folks have told me and that I've heard. It just makes me feel really nice, really good as an artist. So
Well, you do
I,
great work, and uh, I guess the best way to say is you do the damn job.
yeah, I'm
You know,
harder on myself. I see the flaws, and I'm going, oh,
well, of
that's
course, of course.
everybody's going,
My wife,
what?
yeah, my wife's an artist, and she does it the same way. She does by pictures because she may sit there and it might take her 3 days, and then all of a sudden it takes her 32 minutes or some shit. I mean, keeps looking at it and then get up and walk away and starts and so, but she's also very, very hard. I'll say that's perfect. Now this can be better, that can be better. Well, I mean, that's what we breed chickens and stuff, right? Everybody says that's a great bird. You're thinking, yeah, I'd rather have a little more of this, a little less of that. But that's the beauty is in the eye of the beholder. So, but you do a fantastic job, and for one, and I know I speak for Matt too. I don't know where we'd be without you, and
Mm.
without Karen, and without Kevin. Uh,
Yeah, Karen does a lot. I
oh
don't
yeah, you all
I
do.
don't
I
know.
mean,
Yeah,
this is
I
the unsung heroes of an organization, right? I mean,
yeah.
they see Matt out there, they see me out there, past presidents, past vice presidents, yada yada. We're judging everything, and then, but that's what gets the job done. And I think that's what people have to realize is for the most part it's volunteers. Yeah, even if you got paid by the hour, no one could afford anybody if you do the damn job,
Yep.
right? So I mean that's the whole thing about this and bitching and listen, I bitched before too, but I mean coming in and then seeing what show secretaries go through and you've got 2,800 birds, and you got a double show, and you're trying to find, you got 5 or 6 people that can do it, and then everything coming in at once, and it is a very condensed area. You know what? Shit happens. Mistakes happen. You try to correct them, and you go on. It's still just a chicken, or it's just a duck, or it's just a goose, or whatever. That's not the end of the world. We can mess up. No one dies. So, I mean, to me, what's got me, well, since I became president, paying more attention to everything that has to go on for things to work. The stand, it's if you're blessed enough to get the right people in the right job at the right minute and just let them do their job. You don't micromanage. Can you do it? Yep, do it. Well, how about if will it work? Yeah, then do it. Everybody wants to be the one that, I did. No, we, we all come together. We do the job. Now, some people do a hell of a lot more, and there's a hell of a lot behind the scenes, but that doesn't mean that everybody doesn't contribute, because one little mess up can ruin the whole thing.
Yeah.
That's a difference of opinion. When we have difference of opinion, that's fine. It doesn't make any difference. It's whatever's best for the job at hand, for what you're doing, and you all come together and make that. I'm like Matt. I was so proud of that standard. It's just freaking amazing. I told you that. It's amazing. Everything from the cover. But who would have ever thought about the cover? I didn't think, what, yeah, whatever. And I got like that. Ooh, I really like that cover. But I mean, just the little things, and I think that's what it takes in anything to progress to the next, whatever that next level is. It's those little things, not the great big shit. The great big shit's important, but the little things is what make you stand out. What make people think, yeah, but man, did you see that? It's the little things, and you never know what's going to get the people involved and excited. Just because you're not doesn't mean that someone else won't be. So
the pictures in that thing sold it. I mean, and
outstanding.
We added back in Kim's artwork because it was taken out a couple revisions ago to go with the photographs. And I said, no, we have these. They've been paid for. Let's stick them back in. We got room. And we did. And everybody ran and ran. Well, where were those at? I said, well, they were in some of the older standards, but I said, now it's all in one. So everything's kind of organized and put back in order. I think the Hall of Fame champions is a great thing. You can see, because we went back to like 2023 when we had, photos done of them. You can see the progression. I can see the progression in White Silkies from 2023 to now, and it's amazing. And that historical stuff's great to have in there because, I got low. I had the very first one in some of the older standards, but, they had little European drawings in them, and, that's all you had. It's great now. If I want to look at a bird, I can go see what that bird looks like in its present state. So I know what modern games look like now and what they look like 20 years ago. Fortunately, those are about the same, but other breeds have progressed and gotten better or changed a little bit. And you can kind of see that in those pictures, which is a great thing. Other than just reading the text in the books, you got other stuff to look at in there. So I think that helps, especially with newer and younger fanciers, because they want to, before I go get into something, I want to see it. I'm kind of interested in these ermine Americanas that just passed. I think that would be a gorgeous picture, and everybody's going to see that and say, I want those, because that's kind of what happens at the shows when they see them. Is those spotted chickens are kind of neat, so they catch your eye. And we got some out in the barn. They're in the breeding pen, so we'll see how it goes. Actually, my friend Ray Dillon's already raised some chicks because he had them first, and he saved some eggs. So I've got those chicks to go get. And it's kind of nice to let him raise them up, and then I just kind of go gather them up when they're grown.
Yeah, but all that, you never know, and that's what makes it so important. I mean, that's why I've always loved our yearbook. And besides being that damn thing's a book, but the pictures, the the color. It just reaches out and grabs you. Even in the black and whites, and then you can read down through it. But I've been a big yearbook fan. Well, I like books. I mean, I got books everywhere. But I mean, books are something to have. Do you always look at them? No. I mean, I look through them, and sometimes and I'll think, wait a minute, and I have a little time to go back and look at it. Well, damn, this is really good. And to Matt's point with the articles, we really need them. I mean, I should sit down and do it. I'm the one bitching here, and it's our hell. I don't even have my quarterly thing done, but I'll get that done today. But I mean, just so you sit back and you read, you think, oh, well, that might not work for me, but maybe there's something in there that will work for me.
You know, and
Like we said,
I
go ahead.
remember when I got into turkeys, and I was like I was asking people, what do you feed your turkeys? How do you raise them? You know, just I was gathering information. I had so much input, and I realized that right then that you have to take that information, and every farm, can use farm as a name, or person exhibitor, your circumstances, the way your housing works, your property, whatever it is all different, and you have to find something that works for you. But having these resources to gather
Yes.
together and say, oh yeah, like you just said, this works for me, but I don't think that's going to work for me, and you may come up with some other completely different plan, and that's where we want you to share.
Yep, exactly.
Because
Exactly.
there's no right or, well, is wrong,
No.
but there is no right or wrong, really. I mean, just what works for you, and that you could be helping somebody, and not realize, somebody new coming into it has a small amount of space. How can I utilize that space better, to be able to raise what I want? Just the little things you never realize, make an impression down the line.
We
And
kind
I
of
found
learned.
that as a 4-H leader,
Yep,
you.
we kind of learned that working for P&G. So they believe that every system, every product we have can always be improved. They're never sitting on their laurels. So we always called it continuous improvement. So they're always on you to keep doing that. So I've kind of used that in the hobby pretty much. So everything we do, hatching, husbandry, breeding, whatever, all those things, we do it this way right now. But I can tell you, we don't do anything right now that we did 50 years ago or 20 years ago or even 10 years ago. All those systems have been improved. And that's why, because like you said, you took those pieces of old historical stuff, some new stuff, and hey, we got this way, and maybe this will work. So all those never get like stuck in always pay people that hate change. A lot of them don't like technology. Well, you either get along with technology or you get behind it, and you have to either force yourself to use this new stuff or don't use it. And I can tell you what I've seen with the ones that don't use it, they're all gone. We make the comment here several times at an ABA board meeting in early 2000s. They told me that the internet was just a fad and it would never catch on. So that was all them old guys that didn't want to do it. And then look at us now. So if we wouldn't have done that and went that way back then, we'd probably been done. And I kind of, do that with this new show program coming out. That's something we got to support and help that guy, because I think that's going to be for the betterment of the whole hobby. Number one. I just think sometimes you have to embrace those changes and not resist them.
Especially
And
when it's. Go ahead, Matt. Go ahead,
ahead.
Mike. Oh, I was
So
just going to say.
I mean, when you talked about how let's just talk on top of yours.
No, it's that lag that gets you.
There's a small lag, I know. But let's just say when I first started, I'm reading all this stuff on how much room chickens need. Your space. Well, some people don't have that much space.
Yeah.
So it's like maybe a smaller breed. And does a Seabright, I'm not saying optimal, but does a Seabright or a Modder or no, do they need a 2x3 pen? How about an 18x18 pen? How about you breed it with something smaller, but then they got a place that they can go after they're done. I mean, just different ideas on. There's no set. Well, these need 2 square foot or these need 4 square foot. No, that's a recommended. That was recommended by somebody probably paid to recommend. So they have to make these things up. The same thing anything the government does. It's just I don't know where the hell the experts come from, but also they're experts. But I mean, that doesn't mean that for you in your situation that something else won't work. And I think by going through all these things, you learn stuff. And but the only way you learn stuff is if you try different things and say, "Well, shit, that didn't work." Well, if you never tried it, you never knew it'll work. And every once in a while, you hit something that works. That's your jump ahead. You make a lot of mistakes, but when you find the right formula, you found the right formula.
Lord knows how many different feeders and waterers have you inherited from me, because I'm never satisfied with. I hate chickens wasting feed, and I haven't found the perfect solution yet, but it's better than it was. And I
Yeah,
tried them all.
it goes through that. I mean, it's that it's waters and for the different conditions and the different time of years. I mean, I went through this thing. I got waters. I bet I've had for 40 years. Like, what the hell? Do I still got this crap for? But you know what I did? I thought, man, I really wait a minute. I know where there's something that'll work, and I went and dug through that old shit and found what I needed. But I mean, so yeah, it's you're always trying. You're trying this bedding, and then you're going to try this, and you try this brand of shavings, and yeah, they work, and then at the end of it, you're thinking, no, that didn't work at all. It looked better at the time. But I mean, it's all experimentation. Everything is. There's no set book on a damn thing. It's whatever works for you
Yeah.
that you're comfortable with, because what is it, Matt? You will have what you tolerate.
Exactly. And God love Brian Decker. He come up with that many years ago, and you can use it for everything in life. You'll have exactly what you tolerate. So if I tolerate them wasting feed, you know what they're going to do? They're going to waste
Waste
feed.
feed, and you're not going to invent something to make them not. That's the thing. That you got to have that spark. So,
Yeah.
what were you going to say, Kim, before I so rudely interrupted you?
I don't remember. Remember, but I do like. I love the hobby. Glad my son got me in this. I'm an animal lover. I've just horses. I don't know. I'm really amazed at how horse and chicken. There are so many people who do exhibition poultry who have horses. So I don't have any horses right now. I did. I will eventually have a horse again, but just financially is not in a place since I just retired and I'm trying to figure this. Well, on January 11th, 10th, it will be 1 year since I retired, and I haven't figured it out yet. I'm still. It's funny working. Well, the ABA job has been just a real blessing for me to be able to work at something that I like and I love. And but I haven't figured out how, like, I don't have to be working all the time. So I get an email. I'm like, oh, I better stop what I'm doing and go do. No, you don't have to do that right now. So I'm still trying to figure out the whole how you be retired and not like think you have to work all the time. So kind of working through that.
It doesn't take too long. I think I've been 4 years, 4 full years into my fifth one, and now I always tell everybody, what I don't get done today, I'll do tomorrow. So yeah, there's none of that pressing. A few things, yes, but most of it, yeah, it can wait till what am I going to do tomorrow? Worry about the next problem. So if I didn't get that one done today, I'll do it tomorrow.
Yeah, and I think in our hobby too, the nice thing is we have so many different options for people. Some people are not in a state of mind or don't enjoy raising waterfowl. Yeah, they can be messy. Um, but there's other options. And like for me, I will never, ever own a guinea. So they're just loud. Okay, says the person who raises call ducks. I know, but it's different. It's different than a guinea. But Curtis loves guineas. My friend Curtis, he likes raising guineas. So um, I think that's the fun part about the poultry hobby is there's just so many options
Something
Oh
for everyone.
yeah,
for everyone.
there is
Yeah,
something for
for
everybody. Yeah.
everyone. Yeah.
And if
So
you've got passion for it, go for it.
We always ask this to everybody that comes on. So you've been in it over 20 years. So you compare it to then and now. What do you think we're doing better, or what do we need to improve?
I do better. Hmm.
Because you've seen a ton of improvements like we have in the
Yeah,
last 20 years, especially.
I think the information that you can access is definitely better. And I think for the most part, um, people are willing to work with you. Experienced, okay, as a woman in the poultry, when I first started, women were, they were accepted, but
Oh,
not
yeah,
really.
hobby is what it was. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it was a guy's hobby. So I think we've really progressed, that folks are really encouraging more people to be involved, and encouraging people to guiding them in making proper choices. Because you could get really misled, online. Online can be a blessing and a curse. I read some things going, oh,
Yeah.
and why are people doing that? And I think that's why it's important, especially for the ABA and APA, to have quality information that folks can rely on, be an organization that's there for their members. Like I said, the ABA, that is our main goal. I mean, Karen and Kevin and I talk about it all the time, as when we make a decision, does this benefit our members? Is this giving them good information? um, what will it do for our members? So that's kind of where our mind goes. But I guess that's what I would see, mostly, is just a better information channel to get quality information, I should say. You still gotta be
Yep,
careful.
I agree.
You still gotta be careful, but I think I
Yeah, it's
think
that quantity versus quality thing, and I
mm,
get, we talked about it last week, but like everybody cringes now with all this crossbred crazy stuff coming out. But I kind of relate it to the dogs a few years ago when we made everything a doodle, and being an old purebred dog guy for years, I just kind of cringed. But hey, if that's what you like, it's your money, it's your time, do it. That's fine. And in the same kind of thing with chickens, I've been a supporter of true new dedicated breeds coming on. I was there for the Sarama and the Coshamos and a couple of new ones. These are mine Americanas. So the ones that are really passionate about it and promote it in the right way, I think we'll support them all the way and get them to where they need to go and give them the guidance they go. But when you come at us with this crazy stuff, that's probably where we'll draw the line. I see some things that just I shake up to, even I shake my head at, so I know it's bad. So you just have to have realistic expectations on what you're trying to do if you're trying to do something new. And it's not that we're against anything new, but you
yeah,
kind of got to have your I's dotted and your T's crossed when you attempt to do that.
yeah.
I agree. One thing, ABA leg bands. Uh,
Yes, I think
is-
they might be in now. They were coming this
I
week.
thought she said
Was it
they're
this
being.
week?
I think it's this week they're supposed to be in. So get your ABA leg bands ordered, and just as soon as they can get them, they'll get them out to you. So
Yeah, I think
what
I
color are this year?
I don't think we knew yet. I
don't.
don't know till she gets them. I don't think we get to pick them. So they kind of,
Oh.
yeah. So it's a mystery. But she told me last week that she expected them this week, I think.
Yeah,
Yes.
and that's we kind of talked. I talked to Karen about that because there's a lot of pre-orders coming in, so I might take a trip over there uh, to New Jersey and help them get those orders out.
It's an amazing system they have. Have you seen how they have a whole, like an old bureau that's converted into a leg band thing. So I got to visit too over there, and I was just amazed. Kevin's got that whole logistics and shipping down to a science. So they
Yes.
showed me how it was. So I thought,
Yeah,
well, you got the system, because when you're counting out one little piece at a time, there's I think last year we sold 60,000 leg bands. So those all get sorted one or two, unless you buy a whole string of 100, they all get sorted. So he's
And
very
that
good at
is,
doing it.
yeah, and that is one of our bigger fundraisers, I guess you could call it, to help keep the ABA going is our leg
Yep.
bands. They're nice leg bands too, let's face it.
Yes, they are.
And yeah, so if so please be patient. Like I said, as soon as they get in, we'll be working through those with the health issues. That's why I'm going to go out and give them a hand, so that we don't get behind.
Exactly.
It's relentless. I know we get on here and talk about, where is it?
Look at your head disappearing. You're gone. Chicken ate you. Oh,
The
there
good
you
old,
go.
two things I always recommend before you ever buy your first chicken. So everybody tells me what you need when you start out. I say you need an ABA standard or an APA standard if you've got large fowl and large waterfowl. And Ralph Sturgeon book, Start Where You Are with What You Have. Buy that first. Don't spend no money on nothing else, and read those. And every time we mention that book, Kevin gets inundated with orders for it. So I think it'll pop up online every once in a while, and I'll share it. He goes, "Have you been promoting that book again?" Yeah, that thing's been a godsend for us, and it was a great book. And we got the privilege of reprinting it a few years ago. Walt Leonard was the original publisher, and I conned him into letting us republish it, and we did. And we sell a ton of them, and it's just great basic information. You can, like we said, you can use what you want out of it. And old Ralph was not one that's going to go out and buy $500 chickens, but he might a bunch of crap from the swap meet, and in about 6 or 7 years knock you down with it. So it's a good way to start, especially with this rare and odd stuff. Sometimes that's what you got to do. You're not buying something that's rarely available, so you have to be disciplined and see what happens when you put them together. So those are two things I recommend, and our book sales are tremendous in all the categories. So I think that's about all I got, Mikey. I think everything else is running smooth the first of the year here.
I think so, and we'd like to thank our sponsors, as always, Rozier Poultry Supplies and Eagle Nest Hatchery, and our affiliate, Hatching Time Products. We appreciate everything that you go through there. We'd like to tell you to subscribe, like help, and share this podcast. And we should have this up probably a little bit later on today, if not tomorrow morning, and all the shorts and everything that go with it. And we're at 350 YouTube members. We need 150 more to reach 500. And that's the first goalpost. So thanks to everybody that keeps supporting us. Thanks to the people that watch us on Facebook, on the M&M page, and on Spotify. Those numbers are pretty astounding.
Yeah, we're actually for this category, we're one of the top Spotify podcasters, so that's a good thing. And we do get them up there. I don't do many shorts on Spotify because people like to listen to them when they're doing chores and on driving, and so I kind of want to keep them in order. But I am now able to add a short to the posting of the full podcast. So there is one up there for it. The other thing I want to mention, Rozier's, I just got my national, we're going to go off subject a little bit, National Pigeon Association annual book. So they have their national meet in January out in Oklahoma City. Rozier's is one of the big sponsors of that, and they're actually going to be there because they also have pigeon supplies as well. So that's a big thing to be at that. That's 5,000-6,000 birds. That's their biggest show of the year, and that's a big thing for them. So if you need pigeon supplies or poultry supplies, Rozier's will be in Oklahoma City here in the middle of January. So
they'll also be in Lake City, Florida.
Yeah, and pre-order for Lake City because they're taking a limited number of things down. So if you want,
they're not taking 2 trailers.
Yeah, if you want an incubator or a brooder or something big, you want to, or carrying boxes or pretty much anything, get a hold of Kim, Tim, and Caitlin and let them know so they can make sure they have your order going to Lake City. I think that was it. That was my last shameless plug. Join the
Guys,
ABA.
hey, I want to say thank you for having me on. I really appreciate it, and
Thanks for coming on.
I want to
Yes.
thank. I just want to put this out here. I want to thank Karen from the bottom of my heart
Yeah.
for. She's why I'm part of this. She's a big part of bringing me in and being part of the ABA, and I really appreciate her. And so I just wanted to say that, and thank you guys
Hey,
for.
once we can get her nailed down, we're going to get her on. But
She
this
said,
is
I told her, I said, they wrangled me into going on the podcast. She goes, they've been trying. I guess they got fed up with me.
oh, we'll get her eventually. I'll
We'll
get
get
her
it.
when she wants something else, and I can't say no, and she won't be able to say no back. So we'll get her. We got Bill Wolf. He's on the hot seat, and several others coming on. I do have future APA vice president and former APA president and former APA secretary David Atkins is going to come on. So
Oh, nice.
and talk about some things. So we've known David for God knows 50 plus years,
Ever.
maybe ever.
Ever.
And it'll be good to get his perspective because very direct and to the point.
Yes. Yeah, you know where you stand, baby. There's no gray area.
Yep.
So that's the kind of people we like. I don't like gray, man. I like it black or I like it white. Don't give me that gray shit. So might not agree with you, but that's okay. I don't like gray. So, well, Kim, thanks a lot for being on. We've been on here almost an hour and 30 minutes. That's pretty neat because I didn't know it was that long.
Sorry.
No, that's fine.
Well, you didn't beat Paul Monteith. Nobody has yet.
No,
So.
no.
He
So,
does
so
like
I
to
would be
chat.
proud of that if I were you. Just a little offhand, I'd be really happy that you're not lumped in that category. But that's just between Paul and us and the rest of the world. So, all right, take care, everybody. We hope to see you. I don't know if we'll get there this week,
Probably be
but
after we
maybe
get
next
back
week.
from. We'll do a filler
After,
after we get back from North Carolina.
yeah, we'll do one then. Maybe we'll start doing a couple. But for some reason, I thought we'd have a lot of time, but it's you look up and it's been 6 or 7 days, and it doesn't seem like it. So life's great, greatest country in the world. Everybody, take
Happy New
care.
Year.
Happy New Year. Bye.